this is Joseph Deckelmeyer with Screen Rant. I am here with the legendary Kevin Smith. How are you, sir?
So good. I appreciate the legendary comment. Makes
Well,
me feel
you
good.
are a legend.
I don't know. But yeah, you know what? You may be right. In as much as, like, it's all fiction. A lot of tall tales, making up a guy's story. But I'm happy to be here, man. New York Comic Con again. I've been going almost every year since this thing started out here.
First time in New York, and I love it.
You've never been here before?
Never.
Oh, my Lord. It's confusing as hell, isn't it?
It is, but I love it.
Here's the thing you got to remember. It's a grid. Everything's a grid. So basically your avenues, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, go this way, and then 1, 2, 3, all the way up to like 200s go that way.
I only got you for like 5 minutes, buddy.
I'm trying to tell you useful information.
I'm just joking.
Here we go.
Mallrats.
Yes.
Spinoff? Reboot?
Dead.
Dead?
Yeah. As reported elsewhere, but maybe these cats don't care about Kevin Smith anymore. Mallrats 2. Originally, I don't know why people call it Mallrats, but Mallrats 2 was a flick that I wanted to do, and then I couldn't do it because I didn't own the rights. Universal did, so instead I got involved with Universal Television, and then went and pitched it to 6 networks. All 6 passed. So there's 3 networks left to pitch, but I got pretty sad about the whole affair, so I put it to the side because I was like, clearly this is not the time, and instead picked up Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which is a sequel to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Was intending to shoot that in the fall, but now we shoot in January. Well, we start pre-pro in January. I imagine we roll by February 1st.
That's good. That's awesome. I'm excited about that.
So Mallrats dead or just resting. We'll see. And Jay and Silent Bob Reboot happening.
I'm really stoked about that. Something else that I love that you've done is you work in the Arrowverse, the CW's Arrowverse.
Oh,
right?
You know what? Let's use that term work very loosely. I'll be honest with you. I don't do much on those shows. It's a privilege and an honor to get to go up there because I love Supergirl. I love Flash. Those are my 2 faves. So I've worked on 3. Oh, they're so good. I've worked on 3 episodes of each, directed. They give me credit for directing 3 episodes. Well, 2 of Flash. I got 1 more in January. I'm going to shoot 1 in January.
You are going to come. You're coming
back. Going back to Flash. The slowest, fattest man alive, directing the fastest man alive.
What? I'd love to see Automatopoeia. Just saying.
You and me both, and I've been saying it for years, but Arrow, they don't care. Whoever, I guess it's Mark Guggenheim, he doesn't care. I talked to him once after a panel at, where was it? The Paley Center. I was a moderator for the Paley Center CW panel at, where'd they do it? You know, the Hollywood and Highland complex and stuff. And so afterwards, I was talking to Mark, and I was like, hey, man, like the fans keep saying they want me to direct an episode of Green Arrow. I would love that, man. I wrote Green Arrow. He knows that as well. And he goes, yeah, Arrow, Arrow's very dark. Legends would be good for you. So I don't think they're ever going to let me near Arrow, which is totally fine. I love doing Flash and Supergirl, and even though they say I direct, I'll be honest with you, I've said this a zillion times, but I always want to make it clear because maybe there's kids in the audience going, I'll never be able to direct Supergirl. Yes, you can. Oh, my God. I don't know if you will be able to, but you can do it. It's insanely simple.
Can you give me a hint on what kind of, what villain you're doing, what kind of episode you're doing?
The Supergirl one or the Flash?
Either, both.
Flash, I haven't seen a script for. I won't see that until Christmas, right? Because that's January. But the Supergirl episode I did, which was episode 5 of the new season, didn't have a comic book villain to speak of. But, of course, that doesn't... Every episode, there's a threat that she's got to deal with and stuff. This one's just not ripped from the pages of the comics. This episode that I did, the first 2 I did on Supergirl, very space-oriented. This one, very earth-bound.
Interesting.
This season of Supergirl seems to be more grounded. Not that she's not flying, but just more, less space, more earth.
One thing I absolutely, because I know you're a huge DC fan, Let
me finish, hold on.
Oh, yes.
I don't direct those episodes. I stand there and they give me credit, but really... That cast and crew, they make that show, 23 times a year?
22 times a year.
So I show up, if I'm lucky, twice a year. You think I could tell them anything useful? They got this
you're
down
legendary
to a
Kevin Smith.
No, I'll tell them how to, avoid, making a movie about a walrus. But other than that, there's not much I can teach them. The actors and the actresses know exactly what they're doing with those characters by the time I get up there. They've been doing it for so many episodes, so many seasons. The DP, the cinematographer, he knows exactly how to shoot that show. I remember the first episode of Flash I did. Kim Miles, the DP, is a wonderful guy. He's shooting a movie right now for Bob Zemeckis. So I come in, I go, hey, man, so we're in the Cortex, which is the scene where, the main set where everything takes place, where they all sit around and ponder. I said, well, come through here, come up through here, come up through here. He goes, oh, my God, totally. We just did that last week in the Cortex for episode 6, but we'll totally do it again. And I was like, oh, well, let's not do it. We did. All right, so how about we come through here and we'll go up through here and come right through. He's like, We did that episode 3 this season, so it's tough to tell them anything they haven't done already. There's no new ideas. They've shot that room a zillion ways to Sunday. So I show up and just be very supportive. I just tell them how much I love the show. I operate as a fan. That's why I'm saying, like, you can totally direct the show. I don't know whether they'll let you, but if you're a fan, that gets you literally halfway there.
I love it. Last question for you is, I know you're a huge fan of the DC Universe, and currently we've had a lot of information coming out that there's going to be a standalone Joker movie. They're not going to take place in the same universe. I need to know what your thoughts are about this.
All of them are good. There's no such thing as a bad comic book movie. Even the ones that people say are quote-unquote bad are better than no comic book movies.
I agree.
I'm a 47-year-old man, so I grew up in an era where there were no comic book movies, and then every once in a while you get one, and it was like water in the desert, like a Batman in 1989 or Blade or something like that. So now we live in an era where they're like, hey, we're not even going to do an interconnected DC Universe movie. We're just going to let Martin Scorsese produce a flick where Leonardo DiCaprio might play the Joker. That's exciting. Yeah. So, to me, I'm like, the more the merrier. I know they're deviating from the Marvel template of, like, we'll make a bunch of characters, then a reunion movie, a bunch of characters, reunion movie. Instead, Warner Brothers seems to be going with, like, well, we tried that, and we're going to keep doing it on the side, but we're all not going to limit ourselves. We're going to do a bunch of other interesting things. They're trying to forge their way into superhero space. So I think it's interesting. I'm not against that at all, man. And some people, I'm a purist, so I love when things are interconnected as well. But I grew up in an era where, like, there was a Batman movie, there was a Superman movie, and they didn't really reference each other.
Sure.
One time, George Clooney was like, "This is why Superman works alone," and we got our nipples hard. We're like, oh, they know each other. So now we live in a world where these movies can cross over and stuff. I'm happy to get the ones I can, but if they don't cross them over, that's totally okay with me. As long as they're good, as long as they try. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. Some people get kind of crappy, like, well, come on, man. Like, these cats, they don't know the comic books and whatnot. Comic books and characters have been handed to so many creators over the years. You never know what you're going to get, like, in the hands of any particular person. I still get crap for making Batman pee his pants in a Batman book once, which is, kind of reducing it to something it wasn't, but still, regardless. You got to respect the fact that a creator can come on, maybe take that character in a place that you've never seen that character be taken. And I got to imagine if Martin Scorsese jumps onto a Batman movie, we're going to see some shit.
Yeah,
not bad shit, the good shit that we all dream about. Goodfellas in a DC Universe movie, I'm there. Take all my money.
Kevin, you can catch Kevin on AMC's Comic Book Man. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure. Goddamn pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
Excellent meeting.